father knows best.
Crucible of Horror, not to be confused with Cauldron of Blood, and also not to be confused with Crucible of Terror. And I may have watched Crucible of Terror for 18 minutes and been very confused when I'm like, where's Michael Gough? How come he hasn't shown up yet?
Yeah, I looked up Crucible of Terror, and as a plot, very similar to Cauldron of Blood, right?
Also made in 1971. Yes, and Crucible of Terror starts the same way Cauldron of Blood does, with like statues and like the title going up. So I'm like, oh, I can understand why Canon picked this one up. Nope, a completely different film. I don't know if it's great, didn't watch it all. Probably better than Crucible of Horror.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say about Crucible of Horror is if you've been following the podcast for a few episodes now, you'd be like, man, they watch nothing but reprehensible, disgusting movies. Well, I'd say that Crucible of Horror is a real nice way to get back to good old boring movies like we used to watch.
Hi, I'm Corinne. I'm 15. I'd like to know why trees lose their leaves in autumn.
Hello, I'm Jeff De La Rosa, Managing Science Editor at World Book, and we're here at North Park Nature Center in Chicago to learn why some trees lose their leaves in the winter. Many broadleaf trees lose their leaves in the winter. This usually occurs in areas like Chicago where the winters are cold, dark, and harsh, with very few hours of sunlight. Trees, like other plants, use the energy from sunlight to make their food, and as winter sets in, the days become shorter, and the sun rides lower in the sky, so there's less energy from sunlight available to make food. Rather than continue to try and make food from what little sunlight there is, the trees will shed their leaves and go into a state of dormancy.
Ah, yes, because there's very little horror in Crucible of Horror, isn't there, Mathew?
I'm gonna take Marcy upstairs and lay her down.
Put her on our bed.
Steve, I'm afraid.
I'll lay down newspaper.
More or less the plot is Michael Gough is like he's a controlling patriarch of the family, basically. He's very clean, he likes to wash his hands, and when his daughter goes out, he makes a habit of going and touching her bike seat, which is pretty much the most horrific thing that happens in the movie.
My God, Niles, feel this leather. Oh, I have had pudding stiffer than this.
Whoa, there's some beatings that go on.
Go away.
It is time for your spanking. Now you do it. Grown-up say. Or I will give myself a bird switch and strap your leg.
Are you going to let him do this, Marshall?
Oh, it's true. Basically he's a very controlling father. He just doesn't like his daughter going out and doing stuff, and as a result, she's kind of straining against that.
Where did you go on your bicycle?
To see Eleanor.
Eleanor? Who is she?
I can't keep on explaining who my various friends are. They're just friends.
I was knocked unconscious in gym, and when I woke up, Liam was there, and we became study buddies.
The film opens with something that never really comes up again, is that she comes home, he touches the bike seat, washes his hands, she goes into her room or something, and she makes acid or something. Do you remember this? She has a perfume dispenser, and she pours bubbly acid into it, puts it in a drawer. We never ever see that referenced again in the movie.
Actually on the cover of the movie.
Yeah.
The Crucible of Horror is her pouring the acid, and underneath you see the corpse of Michael Gough, because we're not going to be, there's no spoilers here, because we don't want you to watch this movie.
Yeah.
We're going to say this right off the top. This is that they kill Michael Gough, and they think he comes back as a ghost. That's what the plot of the movie is.
That's the plot, but that is being a charitable explanation of this plot.
It takes half an hour, 45 minutes for murder.
Yeah, it's like I think it's more or less just over half an hour before the mother says to the daughter, "Let's kill him."
Yes.
Then it's about another 20 minutes before they do it, and then the rest of the film really doesn't make any sense at all. Like, because the idea is okay, the daughter's streaming again. She wants to going out and being a young woman in the early 70s,
which means there's a big deal made out of the fact that she bought a wig.
Yeah.
And she dressed up like.
She's got a real kind of like Scooby-Doo look, I think. Not Scooby-Doo. And she's also kind of like the main, like, first half an hour is kind of set on the idea that they're all having dinner, but the daughter had stolen some money from some guy who comes to the house, tries to kiss her, and it's kind of weird because it kind of sets up the father figure who's supposed to be this mean patriarch. Like, he more or less stands up for his daughter against this guy. He like gives him the money, and he's like, look, he's like, oh, you know, just leave. I've given you the money, and don't you ever kiss her again. Like, he's very protective of her in a weird way.
You mean you saw her?
No, my secretary saw her. She told me, naturally.
When?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, I'm caught in my own web of lies!
Why didn't you come yesterday?
I've been thinking about it.
This is all blowing up in my face!
What the bloody hell was the safe doing open?
What?
Are you going to tell me that she blew it up with gelignite?
Do you see why this does not make sense?
I was only out of the office for a few minutes, so one hardly expects this sort of thing.
Yes, sir. I perfectly. Why do you think I'm just as stunned as you are?
Do you usually kiss people who steal your money?
Oh, you're stunned because you got caught. That's why you're stunned.
She said you kissed her just now. I've no doubt it's not the first time.
Because I think you're telling a big fat lie to me right now.
I'm not telling you lies, sir.
Well, that's ridiculous. She'd better look out, that girl. She's going to be in trouble.
Just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
She's 16.
So I believe.
You deny it then?
Certainly. I deny it.
You look a little warm. It's a chicken.
I've no doubt she will deny the theft.
Oh, for God's sake. I told you. I got my secretary's word for it.
I mean, let's say this is your brain, okay? Now, from what I know about you, your brain consists of two parts. The intellect, represented here, and the part obsessed with sex.
I will give you the money. No kidding about this.
Don't be crazy.
Keep away from her.
Get a chance to tell his story to the police.
Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Which makes the next scene almost kind of confusing, because you're like, okay, so we're getting the sense that he's a bad guy, but he's done something that's kind of like quite, you know, protective of his daughter, at least in a sort of like a sort of understandable way.
Mm-hmm.
So what he does next is go upstairs and beat 7 bells out of her with like a bell or a stick or something. I don't even remember.
It looks like a riding crop.
A riding crop, that's what it is. He beats 7 bells out of her with a riding crop, and then takes the money that she'd hidden in her wig.
You saying I should spank her?
Not hard, just a little eensy-weensy boop just to get her attention. It worked with you.
Wait, are you saying you spanked me?
See, you don't remember it. How bad could it have been?
I think it's time to spank. I thought we both agreed to be the do nothing but hope for the best kind of parents.
Hopefully it'll just be the one time, and not too hard. Just enough so she knows you still love her, but also so she knows you mean business. Somewhere between Mary Poppins and Precious.
We never did figure out whether spanking was right or wrong, but we did find out that by working together, we could come up with the best solution for our problem. And that wasn't just true for spanking.
Off of her while the rest of the family, the son, who's like this horrible sort of toady character called Rupert. There's this part I particularly remember where they're at dinner and the doorbell goes and the Michael Gough is like, ugh, that woman never answers the door. And so the son's like, come on, the daughter, go and answer the door. She's like, why don't you go and answer it? Like, but just this is all done with acting of the eyes. And then the father goes, go and answer the door, daughter. And the son has such like a shitty anger. And afterwards, he's like, I'm the son. I don't have to answer the door. That I was like, I hate this guy.
But he's so played by Michael Gough's actual son.
Yeah, and she's played Michael Gough's daughter-in-law. So the daughter and son are in fact husband and wife. Possibly not at the point of this movie, but they definitely were like in a relationship or whatever. So that's kind of an interesting thing, I guess.
Ancestral kind of thing.
Mona Lisa Saperstein. Does that mean...
Oh, yeah! She's my sister, my twin sister from the same mister. Thank you so much for hiring Mona Lisa. It means so much to me, even though honestly she is the worst. She is the worst person in the world. Huge, skank, terrible, but thank you. It means a lot.
Of course, gotta keep it in the family.
Yeah, but does it have to be this family?
So one thing we should know is in terms of like the canon aspect of this movie, this movie was funded by Canon, not just distributed by it. Which is one of those things where you're like, why did he do this exactly?
Don't mention what you've seen here today. Not to your parents, or Tinker, or Lovejoy. No one. You understand?
Right.
I like to keep things in the family. Especially problems. Saves people getting hurt.
The mother, who I didn't really describe earlier, she's
an artist.
She's an artist, but she really has like, she's a fragile woman, as it would be described at the time. She takes sleeping pills and she's very quiet and stuff. And the daughter's very strong-willed.
Wouldn't let me have any more so soon. They're the kind that make me sleep.
How would you like to take a break from that fine lead-based paint?
And it's kind of like all about them dealing with this horrible man in their lives, basically, and his horrible toady son.
She has everything she wants at home.
Sooner or later, she's going to work. People do.
What qualifications has she got?
Basketball.
She hasn't even got her O-levels yet.
There's no need for all young people to work nowadays, except for servants. Now, I think there should be conscription for all young women from 18 to 20 as domestic help.
Haven't you ever heard of the women's movement?
Well, sure. Put on something cute and move it into the kitchen.
There might be more use then. There'd be fewer cases of illegitimate birth, I should say.
I'm not bloody interested in what you should say.
Thanks for playing the breadwinner for a while. It's not going to last forever.
So basically, the mother, she's having a lot of dreams or whatever.
It's the lamest kind of dreams. The mother keeps dreaming of herself.
Yeah, and she's like floating in a forest.
It's like, imagine like Brazil, that dream sequence where they're in the clouds and it's like, oh, Sam.
Yeah, she's...
Can you imagine having a dream like that about yourself?
Yeah, and also you wouldn't see it that way, right? Because you'd be seeing it through, I don't have third-person dreams, really, so she wouldn't really be having that exact experience. But the point is she tends to wake up from the screaming. Whereas I had a dream of me floating in a forest, I'd wake up and I'd be like, I had a dream floating in the forest. I wouldn't be like, forests and floating, my two biggest fears. Like, maybe she said that at some point in the film, or maybe Michael Gough had said that to her. He's like, you can't go out to the forest because you're so scared of the possibility that you might start floating in one. She's like, yes, that's my dreadful fear, my worst fear. Of course, if they did have that scene, it would be as pointless as anything else because this never matters.
You might catch yourself sliding in and out of a hallucinatory state. Just relax and enjoy it. Just relax and enjoy it.
This is an experiment in mind formation. Information. Forming, controlling, operating your mind and your brain. Using digital techniques to overload, scramble, confuse, unfocus your mind.
I need alcohol.
Their idea to kill him, basically Edith wakes up her dream and she basically goes, let's kill him, right? And the daughter's like, really? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, alright, let's do it. Their plan to kill him is to let him go to the cottage at the weekend where it's to go hunting.
Instructions for the weekend.
Instructions?
To look after me down at the cottage, since you aren't going to be there.
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
And then turn up and act as suspicious as possible. Like, they literally turn up and they're just, like, wandering about. Like, they keep, like, moving his gun about. Like, place it here, place it there. Then they're like, oh, it's, you should close the door. I'm feeling drafty. Like, but in the most awkward way where, like, you would be like, or, like, you'd be like, what's going on exactly? Like, are you planning on killing me? Because it seems like you're being very strange. And they place drugs in his drink and then point a gun at him until he's drank the drink. And he talks for a while.
And then they shoot him.
And, no, they don't shoot him. They just shoot the...
Oh, and then he just dies because of the drink.
Yeah, he dies because of the drink, which as far as I can tell is just the sleeping pills that Edith takes, who's the mother. But before they kill him, the discussion they have is very confusing. Because the mother goes, I read the Marquis de Sade's book. I assume she means 120 Days of Sodom, or whatever it's called.
Justine, who knows?
Yeah, one of them. And he's like, what? That's a filthy, disgusting book. How could you have read that? And then the daughter's like, I read it too. I quite enjoyed it. What? A girl of 15 enjoying this book? And then he
My
dies.
mother advised it.
You?
Yes, certainly. We taught to have some sort of forgiveness. I thought it might help to understand you. It hasn't helped, really. I enjoyed it, of course.
You, a girl of 16, enjoyed?
Wine me. My head is swimming with of smut and lies.
Bastards! Bloody bastards! Edith!
This that's happening here is not allowed.
We at the Society for Family Stability Foundation object to this smut being taught.
And you're kind of like, what? Is this like?
Did they want to anger him into the point of like the drugs taking effect?
Yeah, is that it? They just thought the most scandalous thing they could think of? Because
wouldn't you be like, I fucked a donkey? It's like reading a book.
I feel that a bunch of people do fuck donkeys in Marquis de Sade books, but it's just kind of like, it's kind of confusing. Because like, why does it come up? Marquis de Sade does not really give anyone ideas for killing their husband necessarily.
She does not need instructing, Walter. She needs love.
I called the book Made to Kill because we've all heard about serial killers being born to kill.
Like, there's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes of this movie where our two heroes are just like waiting for a phone call. I mean, this is like the type of film when I was watching, I thought, I bet Ty West loves this movie because it's so boring and nothing happens. It's real House of the Devil stuff here.
Say I'm in bed.
You murdering motherfucker.
They're waiting for phone calls. The first phone call, like, oh my god, it must be that they found him dead. And it's like a wee guy from down the road who's like, I was just wondering if you would go out for a date with me. I mean, I scrub up nice. And she's like,
well, you don't know
they're thinking of their alibi. She's like, oh, my father's very strict and he won't like that. He's not home yet. Click.
How very interesting.
Is that the best pickup line you can muster?
It wasn't a pickup line. It was the truth.
My name's Benji.
Benjamin,
That's right.
well, what do you want?
Well, I don't suppose it'll happen, but I just thought we might go out or something.
Use my classic pickup line. If you're looking for douches, they're in aisle me.
Awesome.
Well, my father, he's difficult.
Unfortunately, he's not here, or I would have hung up already.
Wait a minute, is something the matter with me or something?
Voyeurism. Hope to God I'm not in any of his photo albums.
No, not as far as I know. Why? Do you think there might be?
Hello? Hello?
And then the next call is like just the son, right? The son, he's like, where is where's, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what he talks about on the phone. It's so boring. He talks about something, but one of the things that he goes, he's not coming back till tomorrow. What do you expect him today? And you're like, oh my god, we never realised. And you're like, why does that make a difference? That makes no difference whether or not he comes back today or tomorrow. He's dead already. But then ultimately what happens is, you don't know where he is. The son calls and he's like, look, I'm the man. I don't have to go and find him. You bitches go and get him. You know, because I'm so... No, I've got jobs to do like a man. And they're like, oh no, what are we going to do? I have to go and find him.
Rupert says we must go to the cottage. That's impossible. How come he refuse? Tell him we'll phone Mrs. Roberts. She'll go over. We'll phone Mrs. Roberts.
But you'll go down there. Either way.
All right. Just play it cool, okay? They got nothing on us. Let's just be mellow, okay?
They go to the house. They can't find the corpse. But then you find it in a box outside. And it's a
real crucible they find him.
Yeah, they find him in a box outside, and you're like, okay. And then a guy comes to the door.
Well, you're Jane, aren't you?
That's right.
I thought I recognized you.
Have you been riding?
I always go about on my horse around here.
You know, I was unbeatable at hide and seek.
Hiding or seeking?
Both. I had a nose for hiding places.
Is your mother in?
Yes.
Good to see you.
I'll take Miss Barrett back to her apartment and check her out. I'll go check out Miss Barrett's apartment.
Look, if you've got no cloth, this brute makes a hell of a mess.
Do I smell of ozone?
Your dog does. He die and come back?
That'd be impossible.
People come back every day. They fall into frozen lakes, have heart attacks, their lungs collapse. Then someone pulls them back from the edge.
Am I a nuisance?
Maybe I was getting a little too nosy. I was playing detective.
Now, at this point, I was like, the solution is, you go, oh my god, we can't find him, help us look for him, and then you find him in the box and you act shocked. Or you go, Michael Gough is dead, we found him in the box, please help us. You don't go, we must act like everything is normal by acting as suspicious as possible.
They had a really shitty plan. Like, from top to bottom, it was not very well planned out. Maybe it was in the heat of the moment, but...
It's a terrible plan.
No, we'll wait. Hello, yes?
Rupert here. I shall be staying on at the Andersons overnight. I'll go straight to the office from here in the morning, all right?
Yes, fine. I'll tell your father when he gets back.
You're not expecting him, are you?
Yes, of course we're expecting him.
Power of persuasion, my friend. You act confident and people will believe any old rubbish.
But that's ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Well, he said he wouldn't return till Monday.
You mean you don't know your own husband anymore?
When did you say that?
Why, yesterday, when we were all talking.
I'll go alone then, tomorrow, early. I'm not going to miss the shooting.
Before he went.
I don't remember.
Hello.
Well, I do. Bye now.
Do you remember him saying he wouldn't get back till tomorrow? No. Neither do I.
Wishing you good luck. Because God knows you're gonna need it. Hello.
And so the guy comes, he wanders about the house, he does a bunch of investigation for some reason, and you're like, does he know what's going on? He like finds the drug bottle, and he's very suspicious as well, but then just leaves.
I'm sorry. Sam ran upstairs. Come on. Oh, thank you. Oh, you've got it boarded here. What a pity. Huh? Oh, that's what it is. Come on, Sam. You've had your lunch. Come on, boy. Come on. Sorry. I would like to see up above those boards. The last time I saw that...
So what? He's like a stool pigeon?
Shut up. You shut up.
I think he's a whistleblower, completely different than a stool pigeon.
What? That's exactly the same thing.
Then you go and drop Gough's body at the dump. come home.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose
of
like poisoning? Like, wouldn't they just put him back in the bed?
I mean,
and
and he's already moved once, right? So basically, they go home. She has some more nightmares about her floating in the forest.
Again, same thing.
Then they go downstairs. A window's been smashed, and a corpse is hanging upside down with a plastic Michael Gough mask, which apparently, I guess, was
he loves, because there's a shot of it at the beginning of the movie. He knocks over a box, and a bunch of masks fall out.
Yeah, like you could get Michael Gough masks in 1971. Was that like a hot toy for the kids? You know, mommy, look at me, I'm Michael Gough.
You need a new image of a man. How about me? She's laughing.
That's a scary fucking thought.
Mask. They never find out who that body is, and then the next morning, Michael Gough's just at breakfast, just alive. The sun's there, nothing has happened, and then the movie ends.
No, and the woman is like the mother is all like frazzled and like broken.
Yeah, she's like insane there.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Michael Gough, I have to point out that Mathew was watching the movie and I came in and distracted him for the last 10 minutes.
It's true.
So what happens at the end is like Michael Gough walks in and they scream and they're like, ah!
Yeah.
And then that's how it ends. And then you see that scene at the end where he's at dinner.
Okay, I mean the climax is ultimately that they like he's there, but he's not the hanging body with the mask. He's just there and he's like ha, I'm alive. But then when they wake up in the next morning, he acts like not everything is normal.
Yes.
It should be fine if we had any idea of what happened for that middle section. Like the joke is being obviously that he's just gonna act like nothing happened.
Okay, now I have some questions.
Yes.
This is an elaborate prank on Michael Gough's part, isn't it? Because I think they find him naked in that box outside.
Yes.
So, did he like wait for them to arrive, get naked, like lay in the box, and hope they find him?
It was cold out there as well. There's been some serious shrinkage going on. Like, unless he did the traditional thing, which was like work himself up a little bit before they came out.
Give him a few pumps
just to make sure that he didn't like embarrass himself when they opened the box.
It's his wife.
Well, his daughter as well. I suppose that's even worse. But just the idea is like, oh no, it's Michael Gough and he's got a stoner.
He died that way.
He died that way? Wait, that happens to corpses though, right?
Yeah, it does. If they get an erection, then it stays because the blood can't flow outward.
Right. So you can't say on the Loose Cannons podcast you don't learn.
And then he like held his breath for a while as they dumped him in the dump.
Yeah, and he held his breath for the whole time. Like, he did a very elaborate dying sequence. Oh, please help me! And then he held his breath while they pulled him upstairs.
Yeah, and like they're like hitting his head against the floor. Like, if it was from his perspective, it would be quite a comedy. It'd be a crucible of comedy. Was it all a dream? That's what you said when it ended. You're like, wait, was that all a dream then?
Yeah, like it could have been all a dream. Like, it's just...
What is this? It's your birthday present.
What will you do today, dear? Some of your artwork?
I know you. You're dead. We killed you. We killed you.
Incredibly boring.
It was so boring. We're so sorry for this podcast.
No, I mean, I think we did enough tangents that anyone could listen
And
to.
for anyone who brings it up, yes, I know that it's inspired by Le Diabolique, but Mathew hasn't seen that movie, so we can't really talk about it. But it's basically the same plot, where people murder someone, they think he's dead, and that he's haunting them, but at the end, he's not dead. Oh, sorry, spoiler for a movie that came out like 50 years ago.
Yeah, I don't care. But I mean, like in terms of the canon. No. Under no circumstances. This is not. And in terms of if you should consider watching this, no, absolutely not. This is probably. Is this the most boring one we've seen?
Boring?
Yeah.
You know what? I would probably have to say yeah. Because nothing is going on in this movie. At least, like, a Joe Sarno picture. Man, I cannot wait till, like, we stop talking about Joe Sarno.
I know.
Where we don't have to say his name. At least there's, like, kind of interesting stuff going on. Like in Inga or To Ingrid, My Love Lisa. But this one had nothing. And, like, the copy that we watched, it's on YouTube if you want to go and watch it.
Yeah.
In full. It's like really muddy and ugly looking, so it's not even pleasant to watch either. There were some kind of cool camera shots at the end, like the woman running down the stairs was like a point of view, but it's not a recommendation.
I mean, for whoever was asking where we'd rank these, this one is now like dead last.
Yeah, it's at the bottom, definitely. Before Inga?
Wait, Inga's quite high up.
No, sorry, not Inga. Made in Sweden.
Yeah, I'd say below Made in Sweden.
Yeah.
Because, like, Made in Sweden, I mean, as our letter read last week, Jay pointed out, like, it's got a naked lady in it for a lot of it.
The girl.
Yep. You can never be bored if there's a naked lady in front of you.
Well,
I mean,
even though
you totally can be. You can be.
You totally can be. Alright, enough about Crucible of Horror. Let us never speak of cauldrons or crucibles ever again. My name's Justin Decloux.
That's Mathew Kumar.
And thanks for listening.